Today I want to delve into a topic that seems completely absurd if you know what is happening inside Russia. How Russia wanted to freeze Europe, but something went wrong, and now the residents of Russia themselves have been freezing for a long time. Why and how millions of people in a country rich in natural resources are living in conditions reminiscent of the 19th century without hot water, gas and sewage. You may have seen videos from Russian propaganda depicting Europe freezing without Russian energy resources. Or about what people eat in England. They catch squirrels on the street and eat them because they can't buy food. If you haven't, I'll show excerpts and leave links to the full videos. These videos are primarily aimed at the residents of Russia, suggesting, look how bad it is for our enemies, so the conditions you live in are actually good. And people really believe it, this is how propaganda works. However, the conditions for a vast number of people in Russia are quite dismal. And videos like these were recorded not by Europeans, but by Russians themselves this winter.
Электросталь, восточная сторона. Находимся без отопления с самого начала отопительного сезона. В квартирах от 10 до 18 градусов тепла в разных домах. В домах находиться невозможно. Замерзаем! 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 Замерзаем!
Russia is experiencing another heating collapse. Entire cities in Moscow region and across Russia are left without heating and hot water. A Google News search yields the first message: a hospital is freezing. The temperature in the medical center, judging by the thermometer photo, is plus 7 degrees Celsius. People complain that it is even colder in private houses and city apartments. This is happening in the village of Lesnoye. It's no warmer in Krasnoyarsk, people are freezing there too. The city's mayor stated that the municipal company should recalculate the price if residents can document the lack of regulatory heat. Buryatia. People complain and utility workers just shrug. Are you cold? Complain to the management company or the utility organization. Chelyabinsk. An accident on the network left 156 multi-story and 168 private houses, 17 kindergartens, 17 educational institutions and 2 medical institutions, oncology center and children's infectious hospital, without heating and hot water. In the village of Kalinina there was an accident at the local substation, and the heating in villages is electric, not centralized, relying on heaters. In Rossetti they first told residents to use energy-efficient devices less. But how not to use them when it is minus 27 degrees outside? However, people found a solution: the international airport of Abakan, which is consistently heated. The whole village of Kalinina came to Abakan airport to warm up. Children, women, men, no other way out, they said. In the end, people warmed up in the airport for 5 days. The media reported on what seemed like a local situation. Heating disappeared in one of 2 main schools. The event wouldn't have been unremarkable if not for the teachers' reaction to the students' complaints about the cold. Something doesn't suit you? Goodbye. Choose another form of education, another educational institution. It's as if it's the first time such an accident has happened. The school building is old, sooner or later everything breaks. That is what one of the teachers told the students. Residents of 30,000-strong town of Berzia started complaining about the cold in their apartments. In some houses the temperature dropped to 8 degrees, while it was minus 45 outside. The city mayor and governor blamed local residents, stating that they were releasing water from their radiators in large quantities, leading to accidents. You may say, yeah, accidents across the country are bad, but maybe it's just an unfortunate coincidence, or blame the bad weather. Yeah, to some extent these are indeed accidents, but with these examples I wanted to show you the government's attitude towards citizens, how indifferent the state and local officials are to the people. But there are good news. Federal news, important for all citizens of Russia and most importantly truthful. Europe is freezing. Quote from Channel 5 website, Russian official TV channel. Europeans are anxiously awaiting winter due to an energy crisis. Back in August, records for the sale of heaters were broken in Germany, and residents in the UK stocked up on blankets with electric heating. There is also a high demand for regular candles. Decor has become a necessity again. Authorities of European countries have urged residents to stock up on warm clothing and advised focusing not on heating homes but on their own bodies to mitigate the impact. Will Europeans withstand the test of endurance? Will the weather spare them this winter? Or on the contrary, are they in for retribution? Experts from various fields shared their opinion in an exclusive interview. A meteorologist looked into the future based on scientific data, a physician relied on personal intuition, and a tarot card reader laid out the cards. I hope that in Children's Infectious Hospital in Chelyabinsk, the village of Lesnoye, and the dormitory of Novosibirsk State University, the TVs are working properly, otherwise people won't know who is really feeling the cold. Why did the superpower, as Russia likes to call itself, find itself in such a position? They want to appear as a superpower. There seem to be signs of a superpower, such as nuclear weapons and big territories, but the economic potential is much smaller, and it is used in the interest of the ruling elite, which enriches itself rather than developing the country. Yeah, as long as there were and still are billions of oil dollars, some of them went to infrastructure development. But they were spent on projects that were supposed to show off, to demonstrate the appearance of a superpower. The Crimean Bridge, the Olympics in Sochi, the World Cup and other mega projects that could be showcased as how powerful they are. However, real development of the country, solving actual problem, was completely neglected. In most major Russian cities, in urbanized regions like the Moscow region, where millions of people live, communal infrastructure is still Soviet. The load on the old communal structure on the heating networks has become much greater, but the network remains the same. This gap was bound to take its toll sooner or later. More than 20 years ago, in 2002, Moscow political technologists claimed that their city was expecting an infrastructure crisis in 2009. They meant a crisis of Soviet infrastructure. In other words, they predicted that Soviet infrastructure would begin to break down in 2009. And now it's already 2024. Another factor contributing to provoking this crisis is the war. Most of Russia's resources are now going to war against Ukraine. The war is funded, and communal infrastructures are not being addressed or modernized. I'll mention another basic factor: an authoritarian regime. In an authoritarian regime, authorities focus on specific situations where they need to consolidate resources and activate the administrative machine. Wars, even for a limited period, are something that authoritarian regimes can engage in. However, as practice shows, they also ultimately fail. Authoritarian regimes handle current social issues very poorly. This was evident in the USSR and modern Russia. A significant portion of Russians still live in conditions reminiscent of the 19th century. Authoritarian leaders simply throw up dust. They earn from corruption and theft, and steal precisely from communal funds. They are often unconcerned about the real situation of the citizens. Their concern is what the top leader will say. That's all for today. If you are interested in the topic, feel free to comment about it. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Don't forget to watch other videos.